Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christiana. Today I just want to talk about something that is completely different from what I have been talking about in my previous videos. As you can see in the title, today I have decided to talk about the subject of witchcraft. The reason I've decided to talk about this subject is because I have experienced a lot of spiritual attacks in my life, and so this subject is of interest to me. And the reason I decided to talk about it is because I'm thinking, if this is of such interest to me, I'm sure there are other people out there who may also be experiencing this kind of thing. First of all, I just want to give a little background of my life. I spent most of my early years in Africa, and growing up in Africa, I heard a lot about witchcraft. It's like, if you watch the movies, if you watch the dramas on TV, it's all, not all, but majority of it is, witchcraft. Things to do with fetish, priests, and traditional worship, and all of these kind of things were so predominant in the culture that I grew up in Africa. But being a child, like, I never really took it seriously. I never really understood it. I didn't know whether it's gonna affect me or what I needed to do with it. So I never really looked much into it until I came into the UK, and that is when these spiritual attacks started happening in my life, and it has affected my life for a very long time. And that's why I have decided that it's a subject that I want to talk about on my channel. I want to just give like five signs that I experienced that shows that you are under a witchcraft attack or a spiritual attack in your life. These are things that I wish I knew and I understood from the beginning, because if I did, maybe I wouldn't have suffered the way I suffered. So these are things that I've learned, and I think some people can also learn from this as well. So one of the things, one of the things that shows that you under spiritual attack, or what you're going through in your life is not physical and is spiritual. One of them is dreams. So you may have dreams of being attacked, and you may not take it seriously until those dreams start happening for real in your life. So, for example, I had this dream a few months after I moved from Ghana to the UK. I think I was probably like 15 years. And I came back from school one day. It was maybe like around about 7, 8 o'clock after I finished eating, and I was very tired. So I went to sleep in my sister's bedroom. I went to sleep on a bed. It was a single bed. So the bed was next to the wall. As I was lying there and I fell asleep, I saw in a dream that 6 people entered the room. And I don't remember if I recognize these people or not, such a long time ago. But these 6 people, they said to me, like, it's like a warning. They said to me, you say you want to be this and you want to be that and you want to be this and you want to be that. You shall be, and let's see. So I thought, what's this all about? And 2 of the 6 people, they held my hands back like this, my arms back like this, and another 2 held my legs, and they picked me from the bed, and the other 2 pushed the bed away from the wall, and then they put me between the bed and the wall. And so 4 of them are holding me, and then 2 are pushing the bed against me towards the wall, like they're trying to kill me. And I remember screaming and shouting, and I woke up actually screaming. And I thought, oh my goodness, what was that all about? But being a child and being so naive, I didn't really, I just thought, okay, it's a nightmare. I don't even remember telling anybody about this. until my life really started getting very difficult, like, finding everything in my life so difficult, and all of the things that I saw in my dreams started happening for real in my life. That's when I started to really go back and think about all the dreams I had. So number one is dreams. Take your dreams very, very seriously. So if you're having this kind of dreams or dreams of that sort, you should know that you are under a spiritual attack. And the second thing is failure for no reason. Like, no matter how hard you work, like, everything in your life is just difficult. For me, it's like everything in my life. I remember things that people take for granted, like relationship, like school, I mean job, everything is it's a fight. And no matter how hard I work, things that people take for granted, for me it has to be prayer and it has to be fasting on everything. So that's also one of the signs. It's like you are failing for no reason, that you work hard, you do everything that you're supposed to do, and yet you are failing. So that's also one of the sign. For example, I'll give you example. When I was when I was in school, when I was in university, I worked very, very hard, to make sure that I pass my exams. I would, if I have to stay all night without sleeping, I will, to make sure that I pass my exams. But when I went to um graduate school, I was failing. No matter how hard I worked, I bought all the books, I did everything I was supposed to do, and I was failing. Everything has to be prayer, everything has to be fasting. It's like, what is going on? So that is also one of the reasons, like, failing for no reason. And another thing is sickness. So you may have this sickness or disease that attacks you, and there's no treatment that works. Like, you go to your doctor, they examine you, they can't tell what is wrong with you, but yet you are very sick, and every medication or treatment that they give you doesn't work. It doesn't work. I remember for me it was like a headache, and my head was paining me all the time. I remember in school one time I had to get out of exam, walk out of exams, because my head was paining me. Doctors, they did a CT scan, they did whatever, all the scans, all the tests, and they couldn't find anything that was wrong with me. Yet my head was like somebody was using a hammer to hit my head. So that's also one of the things, that you have a sickness or a disease that nobody understands. Nothing works. So that is the third one. And another thing is, if you are from Africa, or you know about African families, there are certain families in Africa that there is a certain kind of weird condition that runs through the family. For example, all the men in that family probably are drunkards, or all the men probably get to a certain age and then they die. Maybe they get to the age of 50. Like, no man in the family lives past the age of 50. So you have this kind of weird things that run through certain families in Africa, and that's one of them. Or the women, they can't get married, or they can't have children. That things, weird things like that runs through certain families. So if your family is like that, you should know that you are under a demonic or witchcraft or some kind of spiritual attack. So that's also one of the things. And another thing is hatred. It's like your friends, some family members, certain family members, they just hate you for no reason. They just hate you. You haven't done anything wrong to them. They don't talk to you. They just hate you, and they wish you bad. Like, they wish bad things to happen to you. So you haven't done anything to any of these people, and they are happy when things go wrong in your life. They're supposed to be your friend, they're supposed to be your family. So these are the kind of things that sometimes you may have one or two of these things happening in your life, or a combination a combination of all of them. For me, I have experienced all of this, all of these things in my life. So I'll kind of summarize them. So I talk about dreams, I talk about failing for no reason, I talk about sickness that are untreatable, I talk about weird things that runs through the family, like, you know, certain people in the family are affected by them, and also hatred. People just hate you for no reason. So if you have any of these kind of experiences, I would like to hear from you, because I like to see how other people have other people who have experienced these kind of things. I want to talk to people that have had these kind of experiences, and I want to see how they dealt with it, and I also will share how I have dealt with this kind of things. And as a Christian, it's very difficult um to be a Christian, and then these sort of things are happening, you know, in your life. And I just want to thank God that Bible says all things work together for good to them that love God, to them that are called according to His purpose. Because if I haven't experienced these things, I will not be able to talk about it like I am doing today. So all things work together. I'm not bitter, but I just want to learn from it, and I want to help other people who may also have experienced these kind of weird things.